Oh, welcome everyone to Sunday Night Ragchew.
Howdy, y'all. How's everybody doing tonight?
We have got some new setups here, some new automated bots and chats, and we are currently streaming on 6 platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, Trovo, and Rumble. All have a green check mark next to them. It looks like they're all working. So welcome on whatever platform you're joining with us here. Dee, welcome. Good to see you. I got the whole chat on the right here. This is nice. It's all in one spot finally. Unified. 45, welcome. Yeah. Greg, welcome. Yeah, Greg, I think you're always off an hour. We fell back We fell back an hour a couple of weeks ago.
Daylight savings time.
Here's the new link for Discord. I thought that previous one was never expired. I guess it did. Give that one a try. My Bluetooth wasn't working, so I've got my HyperX headphones, which are great. It's just I hate that it blocks the noise, and I feel like I'm in a tube or something. So, okay, that's working good. Woohoo! Rob, welcome. And we're getting all sorts of people joining the Discord. Let's see. So right now I've got the images up of MCOM, but what I'm going to need to do is to get the voice. Oh, let me try this. Hold on. Let me join. We'll get in there like that. Let me turn off push to talk. And I had push to talk switched for a different activity when I was on Bob's server. So now push to talk is off. Okay. So welcome. Tonight, we're going to discuss GoBoxes and GoKits. What are they? Why do we need them? What do you guys have? What do we want? And so we're going to be having a discussion on what it is and some thoughts, ideas, what's been working for y'all, what isn't working, or some goals or whatever you may have. And if you're going to be in the GoKit Challenge next spring here in North Texas, I think it's going to be held here again. Reveal with discretion. We don't want any spoiler alerts.
No, spoil away. Come on.
Let us know what you may be thinking as far as your upcoming GoKit Challenge GoKit. So the first thing I want to do is ask. So I found out on Twitter or X, I found out that it has a, hold on, let me close this. It has a, where is it? It has an AI bot, kind of like all the other chat GPTs and all those. Let me go to this screen. Nope. I need me in the bottom right. Oh, it's this one here. There we go. Okay, so that's not the one I want to show. We're going to show this one.
Let's put it on the main screen.
Oh, yeah. It's better just to share it, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
All right. Let me add that screen. OBS just separates it out, so now I've got to bring the window I want forward instead of assigning it all. So let's try that one.
Morning, Boom. Greg. Yeah, that daylight savings time can get you.
Yep.
Especially when another place doesn't have it.
Yeah, we're off by an hour now, Greg. So it's currently 8:30 here now. So,
guys, I'm having trouble with lighting today. I'm looking on StreamYard, and my picture looks okay. I'm looking up at the TV that I have on YouTube, and it seems pretty soft focused. I don't know if it.
I don't know. It seems
Paul, you were the one that was complaining about lighting. Now I am.
You have the webcam I was used to using though.
Well, that may be the problem with the lighting. Maybe I should switch to the desktop. But
all right, guys.
Okay.
So the new
lights. So.
the new platform this week is X. I went ahead and subbed for a year because of the discount, and so I can now stream at X. And so welcome if anyone joins us on X. So what we're going to do is so on X, you get this Grok, which is their AI. This is or was it this? Or no, it was ChatGPT. Now I can't remember who used that last week for Ragchew, but
Dan.
and what is a radio GoBox? Now, actually, I'm going to do GoKit, and let's see what it has to say here. So a GoKit in the context of amateur radio, often referred to as a GoKit, the space, is a pre-assembled collection of equipment and supplies designed for quick deployment in emergency situations or for field operations. Here's what it typically comprises in a GoKit. Radios usually includes a handheld receiver, HT, capable of operating on VHF, UHF frequencies, sometimes also an HF radio for longer range communications. The kits might include both a mobile or base station radio and handheld for versatility. A power supply, we all know that. It's got either batteries or some kind of power distribution panel or power supply management system like Rig Runner. A lot of us know the Rig Runner and those kind of things. Our club made one a while back. Pretty simple little power distribution thing. And of course, you're going to have antennas. You're going to have built-in ones on the HTs. And you can extend those as well. You can have external ones, portable antennas like mag mount mobile antennas, verticals, or even compact HF antennas like my little InFed from Coffee and Ham Radios. Sometimes kits might suggest or include tools for antenna setup like masts or tripods. Accessories, of course, cables, adapters. We need all the coax, the power cables, any kind of adapters, the PL259s, BNC adapters. I got the 705 finding that I have to get a lot of those little BNC adapters and connectors, and then miscellaneous pocket knives, duct tape, zip ties. We might have guy rope. On this, it shows paper for logging and a pen if you're not going to use your phone, and an important one, flashlight or some type of a headlight might be an important thing too, especially if you're doing POTA, right? Carrying case. Protect your gear, make it easier to transport. Documentation, a manual for the radio is a good idea. Those nifty books are good. You're going to want frequency lists for your local repeaters, or if you're doing HF in your kit, you might want all of the calling frequencies, simplex frequencies, and kind of a list of those on the band you're going to use. Safety equipment, reflective vests, glow sticks, other visibility aids for safety during nighttime or roadside operations, because you never know when you might be using it. And personal gear like food, water, medications, possibly even camping gear for extended operations. Now, this kit is obviously talking about a deployment of some kind that may last for days and it may be even overnight. So this is taking into consideration that and adding food, water, and medications and stuff like that.
But Chris, that is a good point there. What is your objective? So I don't have a one kit fits all situation. In fact, I got my green bag down here, my duffel bag, that has, the socks, the flashlights. It's got a dust cleaner, air dust cleaner. It's got food. It's got a jet boil. Then I have a kit over there, and I'm not bringing them all on the screen here, but it's a big tote, and it's got HF gear, power supplies, VHF, UHF. It's got a woofer recoil antenna in it. To my left, I have a speaker stand with a Diamond X30 antenna. So, yeah. What is your objective? So it's and 45 Auto, you bring up the best point. Don't forget your emergency bacon.
Got to have the bacon.
Yeah, and socks. I mean, the socks are huge. I have just a regular pair of socks in there. I have a pair of light wool socks, Cabela's hunting socks. Then I got some heavy Dickies wool socks. Do wool, don't do cotton if you're going to be out and about, because wool will retain its insulation value. cotton will not. I'm sorry, wool will, if it gets wet, cotton will not retain the insulation value like wool will.
Oh, we forgot the kids. Not on the list.
Beef jerky, man.
Yeah, kids wasn't on the list, I guess.
You had me at beef jerky.
So it seems like we're getting more into like the preparedness side of it, not so much the communication side of it. And yes, that's important, and it really depends on what you're doing. Is your go kit going to be? Is that part of your grab and go kit? Hopefully, you have another backpack with all these socks and things that you can survive at least a week or so on if you have to get up and go. But when you look down here at the bottom 2 paragraphs, this second from the bottom says the idea behind a go kit is readiness. It's all about having everything you need to establish communication efficiently when time might be of the essence, like during a natural disaster or public service events. These kits can vary greatly depending on the intended use. Someone said it here, what's your objective? What's the focus? What are you making it for? And then the operator's preference and the expected operational environment. So I thought this Grok is interesting AI tool as well. Let me switch screens now, and I guess it's better if I just see. I have them all programmed into StreamYard, but if I'm not,
Greg's got a great point here. Connector adapters critical. I usually have the connections I need, but one of the things I'm more Incom. I have never done a POTA. I've never, done things like that, and I need to. Paul's going to have me go with him, and we'll both film it together. I'll just watch both videos because they're going to be a little different angle from each other. Just my angle of it and his angle of it. But yeah, and the other thing is the type of deployments I do. I rarely, if ever, deploy on my own. Usually, it's an MCOM situation. So there's been several times where we have mixed our gear together. Just, I had a speaker stand, but my antenna wasn't quite high enough to hit the entire group of search teams. So another guy had a stand that was 18 feet tall. And so, connector adapters are critical, and don't be afraid to mix stuff up as long as everybody gets back what they have. So
I'm trying to reshape this thing so it all fits. So what I did was, I'm glad that, hey Cliff, welcome. Good to see you. Speaking of go kits, I got a photo of yours from Mike KMRD's video to show one of the best go kits out there. So what was mentioned earlier is purpose. So let's just put down a couple purposes of what a go kit might be used for. As of all y'all, each of you give me one thing that you use or plan to use or would like to have a go kit to use for. Just throw something out. I've got some of my own in mind, but probably the same ones as y'all have too.
So Chris says he has 2 now for his radios. One's a backpacking GoBox with an FX4 CR, and the other is an X6100 that's bigger and more car deployment. I'm still working on a command center type setup. Well, you know what? Cliff is your man when it comes to command center setups. If you haven't seen it, watch my Go Kit Challenge video. You'll be pretty blown away.
Okay, so D, my Go Kit is designed with other radios. Oh, at parents. Okay, so you have other radios at your parents and key locations to phone home if needed. Okay, so would you say emergency contact with family, perhaps? How would we label that? With family, does that sum that up?
And Cliff is saying he's working towards more digital modes with his. D, really, big thing you need to work on is WinLink. and just get very, very familiar with the ICS 213 and 214 forms. And guys, if you're going to MCOM and you're working with a government agency or even on NGO, which is non-government organization, it's probably good for you to go ahead and take the FEMA courses, ICS 100, ICS 200, ICS 700 and 800. And once you get those completed, a lot of those type of organizations will ask for those to be completed. So have those. Learn the 205, which is the radio plan. Learn how to make one for the amateur side. Learn how to utilize a 213 filled out properly, and the 214, because if you didn't write it down, it never happened. So
let's
Dee's answering your question.
Yeah. So
yes,
I've got modes as my third topic here to discuss. So I think these are some of the major purposes, right? POTA, you could slide in there, IOTA, SOTA, Jacoda, which is Japan Castles on the Air. But even within POTA and SOTA, there might be some differences. You could POTA right off the side of the road, whereas a SOTA, you may be hiking in a little bit. So you might have some different kind of deployment tactic there, which leads me to the next one, which is portability. So what type of portability do we want? Like, what's the best ideas that you guys have? So all I have currently is that the 891 in the little MOLLE pack with the Armorlock rails, and that's just in a bag with an antenna, a power supply, and I can throw the battery in it too, or grab one of my battery boxes. But it's not really a kit. See, I still don't have a kit. So I'm going to just say this because a lot of them are that MOLLE backpacks. What are some other? It can be a name of a company or a type or whatever. Like I plan on my Go kit to be separate than my preparedness kit. My grab and go preparedness is a separate backpack with the socks and the food and the waters and whatever else. So I would be grabbing those two. Well, and there's a third item I would be grabbing, which I don't discuss on this channel, but we can discuss on K6UDA's Rumble channel. Shout out to Bob.
We call that a boing. If you if you watch my video today, I went to an artillery museum and I censored a lot of it, and each word I censored had its own sound. So, Cornbread, you got a great point there. I found it's a good idea to do a practice deployment of your go bag, and every time I deploy or I practice or I do a drill, I learn something new. So always something new to do.
What do you, excuse me, what do you call those, like Cliff used in the pack out? Is that the same thing? Is it just called a pack out, or is that a brand specific name? Is it just like I don't want to call it a toolbox. It's a little bit bigger than a toolbox.
You're talking about Cliff's Milwaukee thing. Yeah, that's usually called a pack out. It's
all of those, no matter the brand.
Yeah, they all have their own pack outs. You know, the Walt has one, Milwaukee has one. One of them may have is kind of like the Motorola PL Tone. PL Tone is copyright or trademarked by Motorola, but everybody uses it for everything. You know, for your CTCSS. But a pack out is just basically how you can take all your tools to the job site and all the different boxes and have it on rollers.
But I'm just wondering, is that a like a trademark with Milwaukee, or is there another name, like a toolbox? Is there another name for it, more generic? Okay, James says it's not a generic term. So we'll just go with that brand because that's the image I'm going to show of Cliff's, who won last year at the Go Kit Challenge. I forgot what category, Cliff. You'll have to post that unless Michael remembers.
It was local VHF UHF. Although he had the ability for everything.
Well, let me just put it in here. there's a lot of decent sized toolboxes. You could easily make a kit. You don't have to spend $300 on a Pelican box, right? Or should we put that in like what do they call those? I mean, Pelican's another brand. It's called what's those boxes called? What does Harbor Freight call those boxes that are like Pelicans?
I can't remember.
Carry case.
Boxes.
Carrying cases with
James, we have a rule here. You can't say the G word. You can say pew pew.
You can text it. I'm just not going to say it.
But if you said it, then we may or may not get in trouble for it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Today, you'll see it.
Yeah, Apache is a brand.
Apache, okay.
But they're called, let's just call them foam protective cases.
Waterproof case.
Yeah, they got the foam, the rubber seal usually, most of them. Pelican is the brand that comes to mind. There's plenty of others, but there's cheaper ones like Apache and some, maybe Apache isn't the one. Anyway, so we all know what we're talking about. Nanook, yeah, that's the other one. They're similar to Pelican, I think, in price, right, James? And then what do you call those ones? Yeah, depends on the box. It depends on the one you get, though. A lot of them do have the rubber seal. I don't think mine are. Always, yeah, Nanook's a little bit cheaper. Yeah, they're still on the spendy side, but yeah, you're probably right. They might be a little cheaper than Pelican. What do we call those cases that had they're kind of the hard plastic metal frame with the lid on the front and back that I see a lot of Go boxes?
Oh, that's a rack. Case.
Just called a rack box, or what do we call it?
I'm trying to think of the proper name for it, but it's basically a rack case. You know, you can put sound equipment in there. A lot of people with
rack mount case.
Rack mount case. There you go.
Yeah, that sounds good. So those are pretty good.
Gator case.
And Molly backpack. It doesn't have to be Molly. It can be any backpack. I like Molly. It seems to be what people like because you can attach more smaller bags to them. Any others before we go to the next? Is Gator a brand? Probably a brand, right? That sounds like a brand name. Okay. And then as far as modes, whoops, just messed that up. As far as modes go, we'll just throw those. Well, let's just throw those out. Voice. Oh my gosh, I can't spell, guys. Voice, digital. Do we want to keep CW in the digital area, or are we going to separate it out? I suggest separating it out.
It's the original digital.
Yeah, just because it's a whole nother with digital. It takes a certain setup, and you can pretty much do any digital. CW is its own beast. Any mode I'm missing here, guys. Now, of course, these are generic. Under voice, there's FM, AM, SSB. Digital, there's PSK, RIDI, whatever.
WinLink.
Well, that would be digital. So, that's the one I'm going to go under here, and we're going to put this one in immediately. I'm going to put the other one in. That's a useful one. In my opinion, these are the two most useful and fairly easy to understand and learn how to use. They work under, with digipeaters. They work peer-to-peer. They can do all sorts of stuff. So what am I missing, guys? I have 3 pre-programmed HTs that I can carry with me and pass out if need be. I had 4, but I gave one of those away on my 2,000 subscriber giveaway.
Chris, I'm trying to figure out your question. Do you have comms to pass out HTs? Are you referring to like if we do an Aries deployment? Because on Aries deployments, they usually bring their own HTs. Cliff mentioned APRS.
Well, what I like about WinLink, D, is that you don't need internet. I use it once a month with a group, North Texas and Oklahoma, and we practice it. And I try Telnet just through the internet. I do HF with VAR HF sometimes, and I do. So if you need to get it outside your area and don't have internet, WinLink is a good way to send an email message.
Right. And
Also some forms.
WinLink as robust, it's going to be the word. Like DSR can be robust. It's an older way of doing things, but it's so robust and so reliable that to this day, every disaster they're using WinLink.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not only in exercises but in practice on actual deployments, WinLink is being used quite heavily. So that's why I know that's why a lot of people like WinLink, because that's what's being used is WinLink.
So yeah, these in my opinion with APRS here. Thanks, Cliff. I think these are kind of the big three, right? There are others, of course, but these are three that you can send messages and stuff with, unlike FT8, which is 13 characters or whatever. And then these three here are the big three: voice, digital, CW. Under voice, I guess the thought is you've got to kind of understand SSB, FM, and AM. All three could be usable depending on your situation, or the radio. Your radio may not even be able to do SSB. JS8 call. It's a great one. And then Japan Ham mentioned it. So we're going to go back up and we're going to talk about some of these options. And I'm going to bring up some images. And this is where if you have some images to show, put them in the, and you're okay with me showing them on the stream, put them in the Ragchew Crew Discord under MCOM. It's about halfway, close to halfway down. MCOM. So Greg, give me an okay if it's okay to show you on the. I'm going to show these photos of your pack if that's okay. If not, let me know and I won't show them because it's hiding under my Word document. Let me go ahead and go to Discord. Is there anybody on Discord? Let's see. Let me make sure the volume is up for Discord.
It's okay, Paul.
Okay. Well, I don't seem to be getting voice chat for some reason from Discord. Can someone say something on Discord and let me know if it's working?
Hello.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we got James, Chris. Do you guys have any comments to now? I'll keep coming back to the Discord, whoever wants to speak in Discord, because just to keep it rolling. Then when you have come in and ask for any comments or things you guys want to add since you joined the Discord here.
Well, I have not yet built a kit, but I have refurbished our club kit and took a 718 out of our club kit.
Yeah.
It had a Kenwood 71. It's not the 710. It's not the nicer one. It's the lower grade one.
I think I had that one. The V71. Is it VHF UHF?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that was my first radio.
It's not the other one. That's the higher grade one. Did what is it called? A crossband, and this one does not. Yeah,
I had the original.
Nice radio.
Yeah, I think it's V71 and V710. I think was the better one. Maybe I could be wrong.
I think that's right. I don't know. I didn't get too wrapped around the axle on that. But the one that I put in there was that one. The one that I took out was a Yaesu that was 4 kilohertz off on transmit and receive. So it was wacky. Wouldn't even pull up a repeater.
Yeah, so that's the thing we're going to go to when we get back to up here at the top. We're going to go back up here to purpose. Let's talk about some of the packs, boxes, and things, and then we can look at what kind of things for what kind of purpose can we put in these packs and boxes. So here, let me go to Discord, and I'll go up a little bit. So this is Japan Ham, his emergency go kit.
Why don't you share that on the main screen there?
Oh, I thought I did. Oh, whoops, I still have that. Let me do that. There.
No, share it on the main screen you're presenting.
I keep forgetting I'm using OBS. I do everything through OBS.
So I did want to make a 7100 GoBox. Bought a 7100. Now I have to repair it.
Okay.
One of the IC chips went south. It's apparently a common thing.
Well, if you can
So-
repair it, that's a good skill. I got a busted one FTM 100 that was going to cost more to fix it from Yaesu than it is to buy a new
I've got
one.
a FTM 100 at my house. We need to talk offline.
Yeah, it's the lights up and all that. It's just, he says that a static charge must have gotten into it. So even though it's in my attic, static can still build up and travel down the coax. But yeah, I lost that 100, unfortunately. It was a good little radio, but they stopped making them.
Chris, good point there.
Yeah, I understand all the frustrations. I also have an IC 706 Mark IIG, and that's apparently what's going to wind up in my Go kit when I get to that point. If I don't sell it first and get yet another 7100, but we'll see. But
Yeah.
that's a radio to build around. I mean, it does all the things except digital.
Yeah. And there's probably a way to make that work too, somehow.
Oh, yes, I'm sure if I fiddle with it enough, it'll probably do all the FT8 and JS8 call and all that stuff. I just don't know. Hadn't got that far in it.
Well, let's.
It does have D-Star.
Paul?
Sorry, go ahead. I'm hogging. Go ahead, Paul.
No, that's okay.
Paul, I
Yeah.
just want to bring up this point. I know you can't hear me on Discord. Chris brought up an excellent point. Your GoBox should be something used for POTA or car portable.
Hold on, Greg.
I hear you.
It should be something that you train with. A GoBox is that is a closet queen. It's not very useful. We have 3 Go kits that the county partnered up with us on that are 3 different clubs, and they manually stay in the box. So one of the clubs, the Lark Club, they're going to start using it during their field days and exercise it and learn how it completely works. Yeah, Chris, I guess I need to bring up Discord to do that, but I don't want to.
He can hear you.
Delay. There'll be some delay issues there.
So I've got Greg Japan Hams up here. So Greg, I don't know if you want to talk it through or just show him. It's up to you. And then we'll go through your photos and then we got some more to show. You should be hearing me on Discord.
Okay, I hear you now.
Oh, there you are. You're kind of choppy, but you want to explain these, or do you want me to kind of just go through them and just show them?
So basically, I was at a DIY store, my local DIY store, and they had a special event of kind of a closeout company that was there. And I just happened to run into these little bags. And I thought, this would be perfect for a handheld.
Yeah.
And so I bought a bunch of them, different colors, and took them back. There's pockets. It's unbelievable. It was like it was built for it. The center, you see that I've got the ID 52 in there.
Mm-hmm.
On each side is a pocket for a battery, spare battery. Behind that is another zippered opening.
Yeah.
And I put in cables, mics, my speaker mic, a whip antenna, and there's a little flap that folds up, and I put my license and a business card with a call sign in it.
Mm-hmm.
And on the bottom, there's another pocket, and I put in different connectors and bigger cables and stuff like that, and then the little pad in or the tablet. Zip it up, and it's got a little handle, and you're ready to go.
Yeah, that where'd that go? This one here, hanging it from a tripod. So it's pretty good. Yeah. So the purpose, this just to go out and just QSO people locally or do events or stuff like that if they do those over there?
Yeah, we've got events that happen. Of course, it's nice to have it in the car, wherever you go, just in case you need to make communications. I'll go out photographing. I'm an amateur photographer,
Mm-hmm.
so I go out and take pictures and stuff, and I get a little tired, or come up to a spot, and I can switch over my hobbies and a little ham radio.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, when you posted that, I thought that was such a compact, nice, sweet little design. You're right. It's like it was made for it, especially with the 2 extra battery spots. Got a little tablet in there. It looks like a little, 8-inch tablet maybe, or iPad mini.
I think it's a 7-inch Android.
Yeah. So that's good. Thanks for posting those and getting on and sharing those with us, Greg. I'm going to go to Cliff's. Now, this is just the top of Cliff, or top of the cliff. This is the top of Cliff's box. So let me show you the whole thing first. And that's off of like I said, off Kate MRD's video from the GoBox challenge. This is the whole kit that Cliff brought last spring. So battery power below, I forget the middle, but he's got the radios, the tablets, external speakers. He's got everything, antenna mounts, a painter's pole here. So if we go back to, let's see, Discord right there. So let's bring this. Did Cliff just join?
Oh, Cliff's been with us.
It,
Oh, you're talking about on.
oh, no. Okay, so you got a speaker, really nice little Klein Tools speakers, VHF, UHF over here, HF. I forget if this icon is all mode or not. Is that 7100 or I forget what that one is.
The 7100 is. The one on the left is a VHF, UHF.
Yeah, I just forget this tabletop one.
That's a 7100. Yeah, that's got D-Star, VHF, UHF.
Okay.
HF.
Yeah. I always like the style of that. It's like it sits down and the angle is just perfect. I've always thought that was a great idea. So Cliff was saying tools and test equipment inside. The battery, I forget. What did you say the battery lasts, Cliff? Let us know in the chat there. Like 100 amp hour or something like that. I can't remember. But that was such a cool kit. So, and here's a scaled down one if you don't want to, you can roll the whole device over, but then you maybe just move this over to a desk or something if you need it, I guess. Yeah, 100 amp hour. So I'm not losing my mind as quickly as I thought.
You were there, Paul.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'll show you all my kit. I did it for fun. So this is a great idea. So you guys that talked about the pack outs. The UHF VHF is, which one is that, Cliff? I can't zoom in, I guess. Can't tell. Kenwood, maybe?
Let's see.
Oh,
2030
icon. Icon. Okay. Yeah, this mind you speak of. So that the VHF UHF has its own battery, so that's nice. So between the two, you have 100 and a 50 amp hour battery. And I think that's good with these kind is finding these solid, reliable performers, even if it's a radio maybe that doesn't exist anymore. There's some great radios that just keep going, and those might be a better option to look into something that you might be lifting or moving or rolling or picking up and lifting and putting down a lot. Might be a good thing to think about is kind of those more durable radios.
We're getting rain here, Paul.
Yeah, I had an alert about 10-15 minutes ago.
It just came in. Nice and heavy rain. Guys, we are in a drought. We're in a drought conditions right now. So I get excited when we get rain.
So I just want to show you guys my Go kit. And it was I was trying to see what's the smallest kit I could possibly make. I have a 6 amp hour battery here. A little NFET I made with a kit, QRP guys, I think, or something like that. I had this little external little battery thing. I was going to not use this, even though this fits in the bag. You can use AA batteries for this True SDX. I built a little kit like $3 or $4, and then my Nano VNA, and it's all connected with power. And it all fit in this little canvas bag. So it was just a fun build. I thought, what can I do with this little True SDX? And I thought this would be a great little thing. And it's still in the bag. All of it's still there. And just an easy pickup, basically, 40 meters. And I think was all I tried it on. I think that's what I cut this antenna for, was 40. Could be 20, I forget. Raining up in the Paris area as well.
Okay. Smallest.
So, and that's off of Tank Radio's video.
I'm in the colony, Doug.
And so here, I pulled this website up just as a, generic Google search. So you see a lot of those rack style, like this one here, or this one. I've always liked the looks of these rack style ones. It's so clean. You turn it around, you got all access to everything in the back. So when I'm looking at a GoBox, I may look into, now that I have the 705, I may look into making one of my 891s into something like this. Because I want my 705 to be more backpack type. In fact, it's all right here. The 705 in the 705 backpack. So it's all in there, an end-fed, the little mini tuner, everything I need. So I might look into one of these rack type boxes. I just don't want one of those really big ones. I want it to be a little bit smaller. Yeah, I've got the one, because that other one here this is the 891, like I said. And this one will be the one that plugs into my Jeep or my truck. I'll have ports where I just plug this in. And that will be, I won't leave the radio in the vehicle. But everything else will be set up and ready to go. Hopefully that'll be ready for Go Kit Challenge. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. This is kind of what I'm looking at right now. I thought this one down here was kind of cool. Kind of the Pelican style, but they've got these little shelves, rack systems, kind of almost modular, where you can connect things. A lot of guys have made things like this just from scratch because they're so skilled. Looks like these guys actually sell them. I'm sure they're not cheap. I'm not trying to promote anybody.
That looks government spec there.
Yeah, just those connectors look like aircraft grade. Here's a nice Go Kit. Unfortunately, it's tiny, the image. See if I can find a bigger one of those. Something like this with the the metal rack, and you can buy the square frame, and then you just bolt the rack to it. I have one it's plexiglass. You can attach bags up here, a clock, and he's got his his power supply with the vents, some meters, his little power gate here, and looks like VHF, UHF. Here's one made out of wood with 2 handles. So on the cheap and definitely durable. You just pick it up and go.
It's
So,
clean looking.
yeah, it's nice. You don't have to
Very
spend a
clean
bunch of
looking.
money. Couple of Yaesus in there, power supply, a meter, tuner here. There was another one with wood. Where'd I go? There was wood inserts. But I saw that one with wood inserts in the box. He separated it out with, it's over on this side, I think. Nope. Well, I lost it. Not sure where that went. Here's one that's backpack, but also made with this little, so all the equipment's back here, and it's kind of an elongated backpack, and made to where you just unzip it and operate in the backpack. So that could potentially be cheaper than getting a rack system or one of these Pelican style boxes. But there's some really beautiful boxes out there. I'd like to not spend a lot of money on the boxes, but I would like to get something that looks nice. Look at this one here. This is Scott's, I believe, right?
Yeah, the RJRs.
Yeah, so he's the one. He does the ham stop. He does those sky hooks. This is his box he had at the Go Kit Challenge. He and Kelly are kind of the 2 leads on that, which is they've done a lot of work for that. But it looks it's a real clean one. This is bigger than I'd want. He's got 2 little racks down here that seem like kind of, I don't know, expansion slots.
That's your rack mount box. Or it could be a drawer. You could put incidentals in there, connectors and such.
I think
They
I
have drawers
prefer
that
it
fit
to be a
that.
little bit smaller, though. I'll tell you something that I have found. I don't think I have one in here. I just ordered 8 more of them on Amazon. There are those canvas, that thing that was on my bag. This canvas bag right here, and this, can't remember the brand. But these zippers are durable. The bags are good, and so what I can do is I've got about I guess I bought 2 packs. I got 16 of them already marked. One's marked with tuner, and it's got the Nano VNA cables and all that for the Nano VNA. And now the Tiny Ultra. I've got one that's labeled digital, and it's got my old Rig Blaster plug and play. It's got a rig runner or a digi rig. It's got digital, so you can label these in big thick. I got the big thick black marker, and everything can be separated and nicely packed, and it's in one of those foldable crates. All my accessories are in these canvas bags. It's not something I'm going to hike up a soda, but that's just how I keep it organized at the house. So those are options. Looking at those bags, there was I forgot about this. This is actually looks like a pretty good deal. Gigaparts sale right now. They've got their Explorer backpack. In my opinion, this is one of the cheapest and better quality backpacks out there. I don't have one. But right now, you order the backpack, you get a free accessory bag, and those bags are $10 to $15. So you can get one for a laptop up to 17 inches, an $891, a $991, $705, a universal pouch for accessories. You get one of these free. So I thought that's a pretty good deal, actually. I may have to look into that just for those who may be looking for a backpack. And that's one of those Tank Radio and Mike, I think too. They've all done, Jason, they've done reviews on this pack, and they seem to think it's a pretty quality pack. And what's cool about it is this back is Velcro. And so you can buy these packs and the little packs, and they just Velcro on. Let's see if it has a back. This Velcro here just Velcros on the back. So it's all modular. Really cool design, and not really an expensive price for a good quality backpack system. Anyway, I thought I'd throw that out. I just thought of that. What was the other thing we were looking at? Backpacks, modular. Where's my Word doc? The foam protective case is rack mount. So, yeah, the Pelican. I think we're all kind of familiar with these style, right? It's these kind of Pelican style boxes when I say foam protective cases, the Nanooks and Apaches and stuff like that. Those are really good. Most of the time waterproof, durable. Here's a good size one right there. That one's nice. How clean that looks. A 450 there, Kenwood over here, power supply. Digital for both VHF, UHF, and a speaker. That's a nice clean setup right there.
Would you trust that on an airline?
No.
They have some shock mounted cases. I haven't seen one in a while.
My own airline broke my son's guitar, so yeah, I don't check anything anymore.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I haven't flown commercial since 97. So it used to be they let me carry my guitar case in there, and they put it in the medical closet for me.
So there's a lot of options. Yeah, there's Tank's video to Go Kit Challenge. A lot of great options, guys. Let's move on to the next thing, which is the purpose. So when we're looking at the purposes for POTA, we're wanting, I mean, you could use any of these for POTA if it's something where you just pull up in the park, right? Or it could be a backpack. If it's soda, you're certainly going to not want something to carry. I would think more of the backpack style. Like I could take this Icon one, and then maybe a waist pack with water and some food, snacks and stuff, and I could hike with this. It's not heavy, and it's just an end fed. I could throw up in a tree. I don't have any sodas in the DFW area to hike up.
Well, and the rule of soda is you can't drive to the peak. You have to walk so far from your vehicle for the count.
So there you go.
You just can't take a 4x4 and go up there and make your contact and say, I've done it.
Yeah. Field day, you got a lot of options there. You can pretty much do anything, right? You can run it from your car. Like my Jeep was all mounted in the vehicle. I just lift the back up and operate. You could have a big GoBox. You could have a Pelican. You could have a backpack. Emergency comms with family. I'd be interested. Was that D? Don't disclose anything you don't want to, but if there's any thoughts on that you have, where you've got radios with family and other people, throw those in chat. Let us know.
Me personally, both my boys carry GMRS radios.
GMRS is a great option. And I just want to say,
right there,
like this right here, just thinking back on Greg's very simple pack is a great one for local emergency deployment because he's got his VHF, UHF. He can go out and he can connect to the repeater that the services may be using, simplex. So that's a very simple VHF, UHF kit to go out and just help at an event, help at an emergency. We did a cleanup after the tornadoes north of me in Valley View, and we just brought our VHF, UHF radios. That's all you needed. So that's going to depend on how big of a kit, how big you want it to make, right? Michael was mentioning those Go kits for the club. Those are those big roller kits like you'd see like scuba gear. Yeah, I think you could fit like the big scuba O2 tanks, a couple of those in there.
I'm trying to think of what the HF radio is. I'm thinking it might be a Kenwood, but
it's a Kenwood. Yeah, it's a Kenwood. I think we have someone in Discord.
Kenwoods because that's what the county had. They're county radios. The county paid for those with a grant. But
there we go. Got some more images. So Chris's new setup. Did he mention what this is? He might have to tell us because I can't tell. I see power wire colors here. Is there like a true SDX in there, or is it maybe a CW keyer?
That's my FX4CR. I've got a key in there.
Oh, okay.
N6 ARA, I think it is. I've got.
Let me turn him up a little bit.
I've got a drone battery that actually powers that radio, and I've got all the cables and everything. The microphone, everything is in there to do everything, and I got a little tin that's got headphones.
What's the size of this one? Is it? I mean, it looks small. When I look at it initially, it looks like almost like a pocket size thing.
It's about the size of my hand.
Oh yeah, so it is. And so you have all that in this little one, besides the drone battery charger thing or whatever.
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty cool. GoBox. That's GoBox challenge worthy.
It's about 3 pounds.
Yeah.
I've got all of my other wires and stuff in a little bag that can get wet.
Okay.
So the stuff that has to stay dry will go in there.
And little box exam tools. Is that a ham radio thing or something?
I got a
medical.
No, I got a sticker from the exam tools are part of the signal stick group.
Got it.
And then it's just a sticker that I got, and yeah, I really need a Ragchew sticker on there.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, the patches. I didn't realize I had a message from the manufacturer that I'm trying to see how they turn out. There was a message in there on like October 30th. I've been wondering where they are, and they said they had sent me back the final because they have to adjust it right for the stitching to be right. So they couldn't do all the little details. So those should get to me next week for the patches, and if they work out, I'll use the same company for stickers because I figure if they can make a good patch, they can probably make a good sticker. So hopefully those are coming soon.
Chris has mentioned that he wants a Manpack portable. I don't 50-watt portable UHF VHF radio. Okay, I'm turning Discord off. Sorry, guys. I was trying to help you.
I think if you just turn speaker off your Discord. Okay. And then it should be good.
Okay, I think I closed it.
Okay. I can't hear Michael.
Yeah. No, I turned it off because I was getting too much feedback through the deal. But Chris Bricker was mentioning wanting to have a Manpack for portable 50-watt UHF VHF radio. And you got to remember, if you're going to set it up, as long as you're not wearing it or you're using it, I don't see a problem with that. But if you're going to be operating 50 watts while you're walking with it, probably not a good idea. You still have to think about RF safety when it comes to that. Now, if you want to set it up and put it at a distance from you, you might be able to do something like that.
Yeah, I'm actually going to follow Wes at Mr. Mudd's Radio He has done a few videos. If you haven't, check out his video. He bicycles around with a little ham stick and I forget what radio he's using. Probably a 705. It's probably 5 watts or something. And he's bicycling around making QSOs on 20 meters. So I messaged him the other day and I asked him his setup because I want to do it now that the weather's nicer in Texas. There's a real long trail that connects all the communities here in Little Elm, or all the subdivisions in Little Elm. It's all connected with trail system. And I want to get out and try that just for fun and live stream it. So check out Mr. Mudd's Ham Radio. Wes does some pretty cool videos. Here's the G90. Chris, are you in? Do you want to explain what you got here, or do you want me just to kind of go over something that I can see?
D. Yeah.
Oh, this is a different Chris.
That's Expendables.
I'm sorry, Chris. I immediately, when I see Chris, I'm thinking Tech Chris, W9 Tech. So this is Chris KD9YSW. Must be new to the Discord. I don't recognize the call sign. Not that I'm great at remembering call signs. G90 is a great radio. I got a great deal on one. I got it and I love it. I have yet to use it. So, and that when I bought it in a whole kit with the amp and all the cables and everything from a ham that uses things very little, if at all, and he resells them for a good deal. This is a great one to have. Tuner is built in, and then it looks like you've got it in a Pelican box here with a separate tactical battery power box right here. USB. I'm assuming you may have some kind of input for solar. I know a lot of people put the yellow ones in there, but mine doesn't have yellow for solar input. But yeah, that's another great setup. So you got 2 things in hand, take it out, set it up, and you're good to go. Throw up an end-fed or a whip if you're going to focus on one band or 2 bands, throw up a whip. Yeah, that's a good one too. Thanks, Chris, for posting that. And Chris W9 Tech, he makes a good thing, and I think it was mentioned in the other chat about, pretty much most antennas can get wet, so they don't need to be packed in there with the watertight stuff. If it doesn't fit, they can be separate. Wolf River Coil is a great one. They sell a small one too. There's an even smaller one that I might test. Chameleon sells it now for like 100 and something. You can get the same thing on AliExpress for about 60. So I may get that one from AliExpress just to test it. And it's basically a little stubby coil, coax, and then a whip. There's a couple other brands out there, and there's just a whip. And I've got 3 or 4 whips. I may get that to test, but yeah, you got to find the antenna that fits in the box or what your setup is. So then we got the other Chris is that a 60? Oh, 6100, nice. I haven't gotten to play with one of those yet. I've just got the G90, but so there's a 6100 and a beautiful. Look how everything's in there, nice and tight. Foam is protecting it top to bottom. That's a great clean setup. And I love that display on that 6100, and it's a pretty good priced radio too.
Yeah, I would trust that on the airline more than like a
yeah. This one I might, long as there's foam on the bottom.
Yeah, I mean just tons of impact cushion around it because they're not very nice with those things.
Chris, you want to talk about that one or anything else to mention on this one, Chris?
Sure, I can talk about that. So that's the next 6100. I've got a Renogy battery that I can actually plug in a cigarette lighter into or barrel jack, and it's got does 12 volt, 15 volt, 18 volt, and I believe 24 volt. And that X6100 can only do 12 point something volts. So I just keep it on the 12 volts, and I can run for about 48 hours on that setup.
Holy crap. Is that a 10 or 20 watt radio? I forget.
It's a 10 watt.
10, okay.
It's got external power. If it doesn't have external power, it'll only do 5.
So you can do 10 with the 12 volt for 48 hours. Wow.
Yes.
That's incredible. I mean, you could literally use that for a weekend camping trip and do a POTA somewhere.
I do.
And you actually do it. Oh, thanks.
Something I want to add add to it is a spot for a DigiPi. So I've been kind of playing
Okay.
around with that,
Yeah,
and
you got a
I'd
spot
like to
right
get
here.
to a point where I can set that up at a campsite,
Yeah.
and then I could do all of that stuff on an iPad or something.
Yeah, you got a blank space right here. This needs filled in right here.
Oh, I kept it that way for that purpose.
Okay. He's got a plan. See? He got a plan. I'm one of those that I just buy some things. This looks good. This could make it, and then it sits unfinished, unfortunately. So yeah, that's a nice setup. 100 feet from the car for soda. Okay, so you got to be 100 feet from the car. James said in Discord, probably said in chat too.
Right.
What's this one here? Is that the antenna? Or is that what is that?
What is that?
Whose is this? Was that Chris again? Chris, or is this just an image you saw?
Yeah, I put that in there. That's kind of the Manpack portable that I'd love to have for UHF, VHF.
So what is this antenna? Is it one of those foldable ones?
I think it might be. From what I can tell, it's something that the Air Force uses.
Wow.
So it's not something that would typically be used.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to find something that's similar, and I don't know. It just looks so damn cool. I wanted to.
So you have to have it, and that's the only reason. That's the only reason you
Exactly.
need. So
Exactly. Because
yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other Chris just want to replace the 733A in my car. And my Jeep was my GoBox until the Jeep stopped running. I took the radios out, but hopefully I'll get it to work. Oh, we just got a tornado risk here.
I didn't get the notification. Well,
we got a squall coming. This looks familiar.
So
What radio is
given
this?
your current situation, do you have a GoBox that you would grab?
That's the whole thing. I have multiple things to grab, but I can't grab all those things. So I need to get it focused into one box.
Paul, what are you seeing as far as you said a tornado warning?
Do you have it close to where you would be?
No, it's tornado risk. It's just a weather alert.
Oh, yeah, I'm not seeing that.
Do
Okay.
you have it close to where you would be in an emergency situation like a tornado?
Yeah,
Close
I've got both the packs right here in I mean, I'd have to go through the garage, but they're right there in the garage, sitting inside the garage. That's the 705, and that's a full kit. And then the 891 is, I think that one has the car. No, that one has the Reliance bug out mini in-fed. So the only downside to these is I've got one POTA pole, POTA 20. So I can shove it in either one of these bags, but I can grab them. But the POTA pole is now in my flight bag that I'm going to fly tomorrow to Japan and use it. So it's not where it should be. I'm delaying the answer, and the answer is it's not where it should be, and it's not as it should be. My Go bag needs work. I want to change that. Go kit. I want the Go kit to work better than it is.
But if you don't use it, then it's just a closet queen, right?
Well, no, because then I would have it to be able to, like, I'll most likely just use the 705 from now on in Japan, because I'm limited to 50 watts anyway, and the 705 doesn't do 50. So I'll probably just stick with that bag to go to and from Japan. And then this 891 is the one I'm building to try to be my POTA, soda, that kind of stuff kit. So that's the one that's in a backpack as well as this. And it's usable. I can grab it and go POTA with it. But I've got so many different antennas. I don't know if I want to just have an end fed. I might want to have my chameleon vertical or something, with the military whip and everything. Maybe that part of it. I haven't decided yet.
So there was a comment earlier that kind of made me think about it. And I was like, 50 watts military man packs? That doesn't make sense. They actually max out at 20 watts on the man packs. So just food for thought there. If you do a man pack, the military is maxing out 20 watts on those for safety. 20 watts is still a bit excessive if you're doing VHF.
Yeah,
UHF.
that's
Not so much HF, but VHF, UHF, it's a lot more. The higher the frequency, the more you got to be concerned about it. So,
yeah, that's still kind of pushing it, in my
Yeah.
opinion. So Greg's popped another one up here. Nice little Blue Eddy. There's a sale right now on Amazon. Solar, I forget the size. Check Amazon's pre-Thanksgiving or Black Friday sales. They've got a Blue Eddy with solar panels on sale right now. I don't use them or own them, but it just looks like a pretty good deal if you like that brand.
See, that's my number one problem in going to portable.
So
is,
to respond
power.
to Michael, the Bandpack portable thing that I shared, you can set the wattage down if it's like on yourself.
Yeah, you can turn it down, right? Yeah,
Absolutely.
you should be able to.
But I
So
just want options. So
yeah,
Yeah.
the options are great.
Well, it's all about safety. Know your gear and just think about RF safety with your gear. Like you don't want to have a 10 gigahertz transmitter near your eye. You're going to fire your eyeball. You know, think about stuff like that.
So here's Japan Ham Greg's 705 with power source, and he's covering up the 7760 behind the 705. He's ashamed. He's ashamed to show the 7760, so he has to hide it behind the 705. It's such an ugly radio.
That's my biggest issue right now is a power source. I got a Honda EU 2000 generator, and I used to run it monthly, and then it stopped running on me again. So
posted a couple of pictures and income.
Yeah, here's the HT. It looks like maybe on a charge pack of some type with the Blue Eddy. You can tell he uses that HT. Look, there's wear marks. This isn't just one of those. What did you call it? Closet antennas or closet radios? Someone called it.
Closet Queen.
Closet Queens.
Closet Queen. Desk Queen.
Yeah. This is not a Closet Queen radio. Greg obviously uses this, so he's doing this stuff and has it put in action.
All my radios are in the car.
I have an interesting screenshot.
Oh, what do you
of me doing about?
Can you post it?
Well, it would take a while. What it is just a shot that shows my my speed of I think 360 kilometers or so, and I was actually on a Shinkansen.
Oh,
you can see Mount Fuji in the background, and the speed says 360 kilometers.
The bullet train, yeah.
With that handheld.
Well, put it in one of these like.
I would.
What's the one just photo? Member pics, maybe. Put it in one of those just for member pictures. Whenever you can. There's no rush. We can take a look at it.
The Blue Eddy, the Blue Eddy with the 705 is 600 watts at 268 watt hours, and the one below the handheld is 300 watts at around 200 watt hours. I think very, very small, very compact. Will fit in my bicycle basket.
That's a pretty good deal. I don't see the oh, there it was. Just passed it. I'm just going to look here real quick, see if I can find it. Here's an Anchor brand. I've got some of their USB stuff. I don't know how they are as far as power. But if you guys check this Black Friday thing at the top. And somewhere in there, there was Food Saver sales. There's a couple good sales. There's Jackery. And I don't see it. The Blue Eddy seemed to me to be the best deal. But I don't see it. So anyway, take a look at that sometime.
And do a little research on that because
I've heard some I don't know them.
That some of them you can either charge or use, but you can't charge while using, such as solar panels to keep the charge floating. Yeah. So do your research before you pull a trigger on one. I think most of them can take solar input at the same time, but I'm not going to say all of them are.
So here is a list. I'll post this. This is from an Aries website. I forgot to look at what area. Let me post this in here.
Good night, Cliff.
Take care, Cliff. This is the site I'm looking at right now. And just go over this list. It's a pretty good list here. So the way they list it up here is radio gear need to have. You need to have, they're talking about Aries deployment. You can certainly utilize these standards for your own personal deployment, or if you have to get up and go or whatever. So driver's license, Aries badge, notebook for logging, portable antenna, power cables. But I like this second section, good to have radio gear. This one really fills out a lot of useful things in any Go kit or Go bag we were talking about. Estimated BNC connectors. How many of you guys have adapters? I got a little kit, a little plastic box with all the different options for those kind of adapters. Nylon fishing line or cord, insulators. You got little insulators. So go through this sometime. I thought it was a good list as I Googled and looked for, ideas for Go kits. So check that one out. That's a good resource. Oh, Colorado Aries. I didn't know what the.
So James has a question. Is there no Arden discussion? James, we fitted our county out with Arden. Nobody's using it. It's just we haven't found the perfect. It doesn't mean it's dead. It's just we haven't found an effective way to use it, but we're still developing it. Or we're hoping somebody takes the lead and develops it. And usually that's going to be hams, not necessarily Aries hams, but just hams experimenting with it. So great question, though.
So no, that
we have it on all of our water towers throughout the county.
That is a good one because you can put that under digital, I guess.
I mean, they're able to use it. It's just, trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it's not really digital. I mean, you can even do VoIP over it. It's
right. People make phone calls over it, like from one ham to another, and they answer the phone, with their call sign.
So like Michael was saying, we've installed a whole mesh network in our county, and that usually entails a dish directed at the main source that has the backhaul internet. And so they're all aimed at this central dish location that has backup power and backhaul internet. And then there's 3 sectors to cover that area. Some of them have a vertical, just a fiberglass vertical. And then on my house, I've got, it's like a little 12 to 14 inch dish. You can get the little small ones. I'm sure James already knows. The little small, what are they called? Nano.
The Ubiquity Nano.
Nano, I guess is what it's called.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah, it was. We set it up also at the fire station here in my town, back to the water tower, and then down in the EOC, I've set up a Wi-Fi router. So if they needed, they could connect a phone or something to that Wi-Fi router and send a text out or get some kind of information really worst case scenario, they've got backup power and all these other things. But, worst case, sell everything down. They could get a text out or they could get something out.
Yeah, it's one of those things that we really put a lot of effort in about 3-4 years ago, but it kind of died off.
In Enid, Oklahoma for the last 2 years, but nothing freaks out an 80-something old man ham quicker than start telling them you don't even need your 2 meter anymore. We just set this station up at the control center for the on-site, and you just pick up the handset and start talking. You dial their number, they dial yours, you pick it up and you talk. One of the two. The guy at the hospital. We're setting it up at the 2 hospitals in town. But it's really a slow process because trying to get hams that are, I barely understand the concept. I mean, I get it. It's a huge Wi-Fi setup. I get it. But it's really kind of hard to get people, and I'm 53. It's hard to get people above 60 years old. They all look at you and raise an eyebrow like, do we really need that?
Yeah, it is a great resource, and we have mesh chats and stuff. Mine's currently unplugged, but I plug it in and it's right back up. But yeah, you could do VoIP over it. It has great capabilities.
Yeah,
as a backup.
The tricky part about it is you got to make sure everything is unsecured, because Part 97 rules, everything has to be unsecured, and internet protocols have tons of security on it. Everything is encrypted on the internet, so you gotta avoid that the best you can. But we also had Part 15 dishes going through the county. All of our, a lot of our repeaters from one control board, and we can control multiple repeaters from that. And it's all Part 15. We're getting some pretty high speeds on like 27-mile gaps. It's pretty amazing. We're using some large ubiquity dishes for that, and it works well.
Yeah. I want to thank Bill Cowan for subscribing. I guess that pop-up didn't pop. It didn't give me a notification. Thanks for subbing, Bill, about an hour ago. Supposed to pop something up. I guess I missed it. All right. Well, let's see. Maybe because I'm not watching it. No, actually, it's supposed to give me a sound notification too, but it didn't. So, well, looking through my all the web pages I had pulled up, that's it, guys. That's kind of what I came up with to discuss. We have a lot of good information and thoughts and ideas in the group here too. Thanks for those guys
Doug.
showing. Yep. Good night, Douglas. For showing their. Oh, we got another one here. One from Greg. Oh, what a cool! Is that an igloo or is that? Oh, I guess that's Blue Eddy. So a case comes with it. That's awesome.
That's sweet. I like that.
Like the size of an igloo, and a little hand, a little lunch pail, and then the solar panel. That's pretty cool. That's great. It's nice to have. It's nice to see somebody organized with it, able to use their stuff. Yeah, very cool. But that's pretty much it. Anything else? Anyone in Discord?
I added
Anything
another
else?
picture.
Yeah, we're looking at the one in the bag. That's cool.
I added another picture.
Oh, is there another one? It's not popping up.
No, that's the one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's great. I don't think it gets much easier than that. You like that Blue Eddy brand?
Very much. I have probably 20 of them.
Oh, goodness sakes.
Wow.
You need to go to a ham fest and rent a table. Start selling them.
So some over here, but your AC is a little different.
I'll show pictures of my
Yeah.
my
Japan.
patient with it.
Yeah. Well, for those that are on the Discord, feel free to post pictures of stuff you want to share. The invite code is available. So if it's something you don't really want out there in the internet ethernet or internet ether, don't share it. But we'd love to see what you got up here. Member pics. If you got something that you want to show that's maybe not about MCOM, but just member pics about something else. POTA, SOTA, we got a Jakota thing. Greg's been posting some great pictures of his Japan Castles on the Air activations, which is pretty cool. Check those out. That's pretty cool event thing that only so many countries can do that. But that's pretty much it. Anything else? Michael put a video out today on Greenwood. Is it Greenwood?
Well, Greenwood, the town of Greenwood, we drove through Forestburg, and we
Thanks, James.
drove by rednecks with paychecks. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's a pretty wild party. A lot of times they lock the gates because people are too drunk to go home. And St. Joe, we came across the International Artillery Museums, and it's got stuff there from multiple countries. It's a free museum. They take donations, and that's when I got creative with the censor button.
How funny.
For the G word, the other G word, the M word, and all those words that trigger people. And YouTube.
Okay, a final pick.
Yep, I just saw it pop up. Let's do one more pick here from the land of the rising sun. Once I can delete this screen. Oh, I have to share it. I forgot. I'm not sharing anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to figure that out because I have a Stream Deck for a reason, an OBS. This one right here, share. There we go. That's quite the power horse right there.
Holy cow. Yeah, I would love to have an American version of that.
Yeah, it'll power for about 3 days.
Well, I've been looking at them.
Howdy,
Between
Trevor.
4,000 to 7,000 watt hours or whatever they were. I can't remember. I was looking at so many different ones where they can actually, and you can add, you can add on to them, which you probably can do with this and be a backup power for the house. So I'm looking into it. I've got solar that'll charge it.
Yeah, I
and
think
then
you can.
Go ahead.
I think you can go up to about 10 kW with this unit. It's a 300 watt, and then just keep plugging in 3,000 watt hour batteries.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really making it a lot easier. And then there's even auto switches and stuff that I've been looking at that come in kits with these things that link to your home system and will automatically switch so that you don't lose power. It switches to your backup power. So they're making it easier and easier, that's for sure. And these systems are a lot cheaper than buying a LG battery for my wall, which is about $15,000, which is the only one my solar panels are compatible with. So
yeah, a lot of them are now making whole house batteries, Anchor and all that.
Yeah.
And they're all expansion packs.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know why that alert didn't pop up. I see him subscribed right here on the left, but no alert. So I'll have to work on that. But hey, I'm getting it slowly put together. Welcome, 1 on Twitter, 6 on Trovo, 15 on YouTube right now. And thanks to everybody else who's joined in a great conversation. I love our Ragchew. Trevor, hello. We are just about to shut down, but feel free to go back and check out the video. Some great conversation on Go Kits and Go Boxes.
James says, smash the like.
Thank you, James. All right. Any final words, Michael?
Watch my video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to Prep and Paul. He's got some great resources from just general preparation for you and your family, and a lot of good ham advice too. So,
and I'll be starting my freeze dryer playlist. I started that yesterday, and I'll be posting those videos later this week. We're doing strawberries right now. And
did you get the shelf? The Costco shelf that we talked about on
No, I'm using another one, but I probably will get that for something else.
Okay.
That's a sturdy looking shelf. So thanks, guys. James, Chris, Trevor, 45 Dan, Japan Ham Greg, Douglas is gone. Who have I missed? Cliff is gone. Thanks again. All you who don't make comments, that's okay. I appreciate you watching. So until next week, stay safe and be prepared. 73s.
7-3.